Drug addict? Hey, Scott. We're grateful to be here, and thank you everybody for coming. I grew up in an alcoholic home with an alcoholic father. I grew up with that physical and mental abuse. And that brought me to, was part of the reason why I started using drugs and alcohol. I started using Oxycontin and heroin at a young age. For me, drugs took me away from me. It killed the pain I felt inside, the mental and emotional pain that I had. It made me feel okay. And from as far back as I can remember, the only thing I ever wanted was to feel okay. And that for moments at a time, that's what the drugs and alcohol did. With that being said, it's 11 years ago today, to the day, that I overdosed over in the east side of Brockton at the Save-A-Lot parking lot. I was 20 years old. Weeks before I did overdose, I accepted many things. I accepted the fact that I was a drug addict. I accepted the fact that I was a heroin addict, and I accepted the fact that this was my life and this was how I was going to die. A few weeks before I overdosed, I was contemplating suicide because I couldn't live that way anymore. I couldn't deal with it anymore. I just wanted the pain to go away. And the day I overdosed, I feel like today that was God. And I overdosed, and it was his way of saying, "Is this really what you want?" And I woke up in the Brockton hospital, and I remember waking up, and I looked to the left. There was my mother. And I looked over to my right, and there was my sister Caitlin, my best friend. And that was the first time in my life that I realized it wasn't just hurting myself. My mother and my sister looked run down, tired, and beat up. And that was the first time in my life that I realized it wasn't just me. It wasn't just hurting myself. And it woke me up a little bit. And from there, the next day I was sectioned to Bridgewater for the second time. I spent 30 days there in Bridgewater. From Bridgewater, to be honest with you, I thought everything was good and I was going to go home. And that wasn't the case. Nobody wanted me. So I had a great counselor in Bridgewater, and he said, "Scott, I have a bed for you in Tewksbury. Why don't you go up there?" And I did. I went to Tewksbury cab, and I waited there for months. And somebody told me about the North Cottage program in Norton. And I had the gift of desperation at this point to stay sober and do something different. And I waited to get into North Cottage. It was one of the best things I ever did. When I got over to the North Cottage, I got my GED. I learned how to pay bills. I learned how to get a job. I learned how to be an adult. All these things I didn't know how to do before. And more importantly, I stopped doing things my way and I started to listen. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but I did. And they told me to get a group. They told me to get a sponsor. They told me to go through the 12 steps. And I did. And I stayed sober. It wasn't easy the whole time. It wasn't easy at all. There were points and times where I wanted to leave, where I wanted to give up. I couldn't deal with things anymore. I couldn't deal with sobriety. I couldn't deal with the way I was feeling, etc. And there was probably about 9-10 months sober or something like that, and that was it. I had enough. I was at the halfway house at this point, and I had enough. I couldn't deal with these feelings anymore, these emotions that I've been hiding for years, etc. with the drugs. And I packed my bags. I was getting ready to leave, and my phone rang, and it was my cousin Steve. And we talked. He asked me how I was doing. I said, "Good." He said, "How are you really doing?" I broke down. I told him, how I was doing. And Stephen was just like me. And Stephen reminded me nicely, "Scott, you know what's going to happen if you go back out. You know what's waiting for you if you go back out." And it touched me. And he hit me. And he was right. So I stayed. A week later, I get a phone call. My cousin Stephen picked up one more time. And he overdosed and died. And still very hard. That was one of the hardest days of my life. Definitely one of the hardest days of my life in sobriety. And he told me to stay. Stephen Pacheco, as well as Shannon Duggan, Lance Fisk, Paul St. Andre, Bobby Terrell, and there's many, many more people that you're going to see up here tonight that I grew up with, that are part of my life and part of my story to this day, that through me live on forever. And it's because of them. They're part of the reason why I stay sober today, because of those people. Excuse me. Because of those people, my family, and more importantly, that gift of desperation that I got 10 years ago to stay sober hasn't gone away. And I keep that close. And I remind myself often by telling my story and talking about these people I just mentioned of what's still out there for me if I choose to go back. And I don't forget it. today, like I said, I'm active in my recovery, and I'm active in my sobriety, and I give back as much as I can, and I still, to this day, I sit down, shut up, and I listen. Because when I start doing things my way, they don't work out too well. I'm here today to share my story, to share their story, and to let you guys know that there is hope. There is hope out there. I can tell you from experience that getting sober and staying sober is one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it's the best thing I ever did. Today I'm a husband, I'm a son, I'm a friend, I'm available, I'm there for my family and my friends. It's an amazing thing. And the biggest reason why I love coming here and doing this is because, just like it's another place, the Candlelight I go to all the time, is I love speaking to adolescents. I got sober at 20, I'm 31 today, I'm 11 years sober, thank God. And I never heard somebody come into a program or a treatment facility and tell me they got sober young. That's why I try to share as much as I can, because I do understand that it is unique, and I try to give back, and I want to hopefully just catch one person that hears me. I love coming here tonight. This is great. I think that the conversation of opiate abuse needs to continue. I feel like so many times we start talking about it, and it stops there. We need this conversation to continue, as I think it has been for a little while now, and we're seeing some progress and change. We need to continue to talk about it. So thank you for having me, and thank you for being here tonight.